Today's topic is that the cross is the only thing we must hold on to. Today's topic is that the cross is the only thing we must hold on to. I'm going to give a God's message with this topic. The background of this part we just read is that North Israel and Aaron made an alliance to attack Judah. From Isaiah chapter 7, it focuses on Ahaz, who was king of Judah. Isaiah chapter 7, verse 2, the house of David was told, Aaron has aligned himself with Ephraim. So the heart of the Ahaz and his people was shaken, as the trees of the forest are shaken by the wind. God helped him to defeat the battle with North Israel and Aaron, but his heart had not still stayed God. He was still in fear. Like him, we do shake our hearts when we face troubles. We sometimes consider whether we rely on God or not. In other words, we are still wondering we need to go to God's way or not. Also, we need to rely on God or other ways. We know we must hold our faith when we have troubles, so with this mind, we try to do like that. After that, the next days, we are still wondering we need to hold our faith or not. King Ahaz also had experienced that God helped him to overcome the problem, but he had not still relied on God. He showed his weakness and untruthful mind. God saw him, so he sent the prophet Isaiah to the king. God gave Ahaz some sign. The first one is that God asked Ahaz to birth his son, Jeonㅖ. The meaning of his name is that the remainders will come back. In other words, God will give us a victory in the end. However, Ahaz still had worries and fear. After that, God asked Ahaz to receive a sign, but he rejected the request. The king Ahaz did not want to get any sign from him. So God pushed him to show the sign. It was Messiah. God said, I will send you the Messiah. It is Emmanuel. Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14, therefore the Lord himself will give you the sign. The virgin will be with a child and will give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel. This means that God will be with us. God is our master key. God is almighty. He is with us and protect us. When He is with us, He will lead us to a better way and help us from troubles. He will definitely give us a victory. Although He gives us a clear way, we are still wondering whether we rely on God or not. The last sign was that God said indirectly, He said that when you rely on Assyria, you will fall down. Will you not come to me? You will not survive anymore. Isaiah chapter 7 verse 18 to 19. In the day, the Lord will whistle for flies from the distant stream of Egypt, and for bees from the land Assyria. They will all come and settle in the steep ravine and the crevice in the rocks, on the thorn bushes and at all the water holes. From these verses, it showed that Assyria would come, then take over the nation. God said that do not rely on them. All of us, we have asked ourselves about our life. We would like to predict our future. We try to find some books about our future predictions at bookstore. Also, we like to ask others about prediction. When we think about this keyword, future prediction, we are afraid of having bad things in the future. Please do not think of it. From the view of the Bible, future is not predicted. It is accomplished by the decisions. What do we decide? We have to do right now. When you have faith, we will definitely receive a victory. If we do not, we will not get it. We are living in fear and worries. We should not predict our future. Our lives is in God. What do we do? It is to make the decisions. No Christians like predict what they want to do. Our future is accomplished by decision, not prediction. Do not worry about what we have to do. Just rely on God and pray for ourselves. I'll give you 3 approaches related to this topic. The first approach is that with faith, it will replace by shame in the dignity. Isaiah chapter 7 verse 20, in that day the Lord will use a razor higher from the beyond the liver, the king of Assyria, to shave your head and the hair of your legs, and to take off your beard. Also, you read this verse, you just sing no meaning for any message. You sing, it just shows cultural difference. This means that people shave the head and legs. Also, they shave their beards. However, for Israel, when they act like this, they think it is shameful. 2 Samuel chapter 10, it gives us an evidence. Nahas, the king of the Ammonites, died. David had a good relationship with Nahas before he died. So, to show his kindness, David sent his men to express his sympathy to Hanan. When the David man came to the land of the Ammonites nobles asked Hanan, "Do you think David is honoring your father by sending his men to you to express sympathy?" The nobles answered, "He sent us to explore our city and overthrow it." When he heard their saying, he seized David's men, shaved off the half of each man's spear, cut off their garments in the middle of at the Bertus, and sent them away. They shaved the beards of David's, and also they cut their pants of men to show their hips. Koreans are ashamed of show their hips to others, they feel ashamed. But shave their beards, no one thinks it is shameful. However, for Israel, they do not care about showing their hips. More than that, cutting the beards, it is one of the most shameful behaviors. 2 Samuel chapter 10 verse 2, when David was told about this, he sent messengers to meet the man, for they are grateful, humiliated. In Hebrew, it doesn't have any other verbs, so it mentions greatly. But actually, the original meaning is that they were ashamed and shamed. David said, "Stay at Jericho till your beards had grown, and then come back." He knew that they felt greatly ashamed of it. So, let them stay at Jericho until they grow, then come back. Israelites felt ashamed when they shaved their beards. As we see, we know how shameful they have. Like this, as Christians, without faith, we feel ashamed. We try to find the ways by ourselves. We try to rely on our strengths and knowledge to overcome any troubles. We try to give up faith. When we do this, we feel ashamed right away. However, move on to dignity and to be holy, we just hold the faith. Only one thing we need to hold. Look at Ruth. She is Moabite woman. Her husband died, then she moved to Bethlehem with Naomi. She gleaned the grain. She was beggar. When people look at her, they thought she was poor. Maybe she fell down her life. She got nothing to arise. However, as we see, she just held faith. She showed her strong faith. God looked after her, so she met Boaz. Then she became a grandmother of David. She was one of the list of family trees in Messiah. Any of you feel like her. You think, I fall down with everything. I have nothing in my hand. I have nothing to do. I feel ashamed of my life. It is okay for you to think of like that. But you must not forget only one thing. It is faith. When you have faith, you rise again. And it will give you a confidence. This is gospel. When you hold faith, your shame will move on to the dignity. You will face any troubles. You do not know what to do, but this time, when you hold faith, you will get the answers from God. When I went for a mission, I read Acts chapter 6 on flight. From this passage, it is based on the early church. Its story is about the financial aid and the competition between Hebrew widows and Greek widows.
집중한 건 뭐예요? 지도자들이
Most Hebrew people took over the high positions in the government, so Greek widows thought that they got unfairness. The early church was based on concentration and organization.
7명의 집사님들 세웠습니다. 근데 이건 뭐 다 하는 얘기인데
Acts chapter 6 verse 4, we will give you our attention to prayer and the ministry of the word. The early church focused on the attention of prayer. Also for organization, they chose the 7 men to the apostle who prayed and laid their hands on them. When I look through the verses in Acts 6, I was surprised at the list of names chosen apostles. There are Stephen, Philip, Prochorus, Nicanor, Timor,
싸움이 벌어졌죠.
Parmenas and Nicholas. All of them were from Greek Christians. When we ask somebody's name, we say, "What is your name?" The person says, "I'm Stephen Lee." You realize the person is from overseas. When you ask a name, I'm Sharon Kim, realize that she is from other country. When you have the name of the person, she replies, I'm Helen Choi. We realize she is from overseas. When you hear the names, we can see where he or she come from. Most Koreans have their own Korean names which have the meaning in it. When we ask strange or distinct names, we think they are from different countries. From the 7 apostles, as we see the names, they were all Greeks or Jews. The background of this situation, there was a conflict between Hebrews and Greeks. At the time, most leaders were Hebrews. From the situation, the early church tried to check the attention and organization. They said that all Greeks would take the high position in our system of the church, not Hebrews. They showed great faith and faithful people. All Christians should be like them. They must be faithful people and have a strong faith. They were nice people. Do you know the difference between the meaning of nice and pretty? Most Korean girls hear the word pretty. In fact, we must distinguish the meanings of 2 words. Truly, most babies are cute. When I was on mission, I saw some girlings. They were really cute and pretty. When I was young, I went to countryside. I saw some little rats on the way. They were really cute and pretty. I could not kill them. I just watched them. Why do you feel so pretty when you look at small things? They make us protect them. They are small and weak. As we see them, we try to cover them and keep them safe. The meaning of pretty is weakness. When you are young and little, we can hear pretty from others. This means that we are still weak. But as we get older, we grow our body and become strong and receive power. It is hardly to hear the word. It is fine to hear that you are pretty when you're a teenager, but when you're 30s, you must be nice. When you are 40s, you must be nicer. When you are 50s, you must be wonderful others. We love to hear the word, you are a wonderful person. I would like to introduce one of Korean group singers. The name of the girl group is 21. They are really famous. They are Boom Park, Min Ji-kong, Sandra Park, and CL. From my eyes, I have never thought they are really pretty. When I look at their faces on picture, they are just normal faces. But the only thing they are different from others is that when they sing and dance on stage, They show popular performances.
노래가 뭐예요? 내가 제일
One of the
잘
famous songs is that I'm the best.
역설적이죠. 잘 나가지 못할 것
When
같은
they
여자들이
sing
내가 제일 잘 나가.
their words of the song,
못생긴 여자
it
나와서
says
내가 제일
that
잘 나가.
when you look at
가사
me,
속에 뭐가
you
있어요?
feel I'm
누가 봐도
different.
내가 좀 죽여주잖아. 뭐 이런 게 있어요.
I am so special.
내가
I'm the
부끄러워요.
best.
야, 네 모습을 갖고
From
내가
their song,
누가
they
봐도
show
내가
great
좀
power of the
죽여주는데.
songs and dance.
근데 이게
It makes
여러분
it
그게
exciting.
도구적인 거예요. 내가 이렇게 당당하다는 거예요.
When I listen
I am
to
who
the
I am.
songs,
나는 나라는 거예요.
I feel like it is
자신 있게 자기의
gospel.
모습을 드러내잖아요.
I sing the sentence, I am who I am.
남성 팬도 많지만
When I listen to their
여자도
songs,
굉장히
it gives
많아요.
a confidence.
여성 팬이 굉장히 많아요.
The girl group
여자
has
팬들이
had many
많아요.
male
뭐예요?
fans
당당-
and a lot of female fans
트웬티원을 보면서 느끼는 게 뭔지 아십니까?
love them so much.
참 멋있어요.
When I watch
멋있는
the
여자들이
TV, I feel they're really wonderful and powerful.
보고 말해서 우리가
Normally,
가진
most
뭐예요?
girls group gained more male fans than females. But for the
예쁜 게 아니라
groups,
멋진 모습이 있어야죠.
they have
성격이
both.
멋졌던 이유가
When
뭐죠?
they have on stage, they present powerful performance and it makes us enthusiasm. This is gospel.
잘 보세요. 우리가
As
어떤
Christians, we need to act strongly and powerful in our life.
이기심에 빠질 수 있어요.
With the faith,
그래서 뭐 희생하는
we
거
need to
사랑하는
show
거
our
좋은 데만
confidence.
가려고. 그렇잖아요. 뭐
Moreover,
자기도 좋은 자리에
we
앉으려고
need to show nice behavior rather than focus on
희생 안
faces.
하려고 그러잖아요.
This means that we focus on the word nice rather than
모든 사람들이
pretty.
다 그런
The
좋은
early
자리에
church
가려고 하는 그런 쓸데없는
Had a
경쟁,
strong confidence in faith.
전체가 다
As we
추해져요.
are getting older, we try to become weaker, but we need to be nicer.
난 희생하겠다.
When we gather with others in one place, we try to be selfish because we have a simple mind.
완전히 바뀌어버린다고.
Some of them do not want to be sacrificed. They just take their wants. With the jealous, they want to be take good things, compare with others.
그래서 여러분들이 아무리 많은 걸 얻었다 할지라도
As they
추하게 얻은
obtain
거에
good
대해서
ones,
인간이 가절하게 돼
it would make competitions with more competitors. However, among them, one person give us the competitions. He or she say that I will sacrifice. I will be out of the competitions. Look at the early church. With a problem with the help of the poor, most high positions were taken over from Hebrews, but they gave the most important decisions to the Greek. Jesus said that make every effort to enter through the narrow door. When we see the narrow door, it makes us more hot troubles, but this is the way to lead us to blessing and holiness. I want you to replace shame in dignity. The second point is that with faith, people trying to gather in one place rather than separate each other. Isaiah chapter 7 verse 21 to 22. In the day a man will keep alive a young cow and two goats, and because the abundance of the milk they give, he will have curds to eat. All who remain in the land will eat curds and honey. When you read the two verses, you just think the verses do not have any meaningful messages. But it has, look at the verses. They are young cow and two goats. Only three. They make abundance of milk. After people drink it, they are still left. This means that there are no faith people. They are gone. It shows emptiness. Actually, amount of people is small, but people are enough to drink it. This shows lack of people keep their faith. With the similar meaning of the verses, in Korean tradition, there is a famous poem written by Jeonㅖ. The location he made the poem is Kaesong in North Korea. The meaning of the poem is like that. There are a lot of cliffs and a wonderful nature. He enjoyed the atmosphere. When he turned his way, there were no left. Nothing left. He thought it was a dream. It was emptiness. Like this story, the birds showed all people in Judah will be gone. Without faith, people trying to disappear. Without faith, they do not think about services to worship God. In service, we will see the emptiness. Christians do not come to service without faith. Non-Christians do their ways to overcome their troubles, but Christians do not. With their faith, they are trying to gather in one place. They try to collaborate the works of God in faith.
믿음 저버렸더니
We must hold faith. There are some troubles. There are no ways to overcome. But if you have faith, people trying to come to the God, they will gather in one place. You will be the center in a group. With faith, people will come to in a place. With grace, people will come to in place. With a blessing, people will come to in place. 2 weeks ago, I went to one of the church members' house to provide the service. One brother and one sister even saw. Their parents live in remote area. So they came to Seoul to see their children. Now I remember the only thing. When I had a conversation with the parents, their mother said that it had rarely had meals with 4 people. Relatives and friends over had come to their place, and they have stayed longer. But I had never complained about their staying. I'm happy to come to my place. So when I stayed with my children, it was hard for us to enjoy with the family only. The only thing I was impressed was their mother said that although there are no side dishes, many people ate together, we could enjoy the meals. With many people, we love to eat together and had happy time with them. After the children moved to Seoul, only 2 people left at home. The mother prepared delicious food. They said that only 2 people could not enjoy the meals. For her saying, I agree with her. With 1 or 2 people, it cannot make any conversation and relationship. When many people get in one place, they love to talk and stay. Also, they love to have conversation and make good relationships. When they have some troubles, they try to share their problems and find the answers together. When people stay together, they try to heal their hurt mind and give wise advices each other. Most of people act egocentrically. They focus on their lifestyle and preference. I'll give you an example. We have done service. After the service, we provided breakfast for our church members. Some of them do not take the food. They say, I need to pray long, so I do not want to have the breakfast. I understand what they say. Some of them do not take the breakfast. They say that I am on diet. I'm fine to hear that. However, all they say focus their mind. They do not think of others. After praying, when we have meals with others, it is happy time to have a conversation with others. To get breakfast, we line up, then take the food. If there are no seats, we stand and eat with others. This makes people have a great time in the morning. This makes good relationship. This is grace. However, some of them ignore their relationship. After service, they just disappear. They do not want to stay with others. They focus on their own lifestyle. Actually, they do not know what grace is. They just ignore what the meaning of faith is. We must know you are important to others. As you stay with others, it gives them power and helps them to relieve their minds. Some church members who live far come to the service. They try to come to service to receive grace. Some people think that they live far away, so they cannot listen to sermon using the internet. They think the wrong way. The people who come to the service have a strong faith. They just come to service with grace. They do not want to be lazy. They want to come to service. And then also some of them bring their children to the service. When others look at them, maybe they do not think They do not understand why they bring their children as well. But this shows their strong faith, and the families want to receive grace and blessing from God. Moreover, they show that other family can do like them. Other families also be embarrassed, so other families will bring their kids to the service. This is important to all church members. Do not be apart from others. As you are, people love to stay with you. Some of church members ask me, when I come to service, I spend a lot of cost for my car. Also, I do not have enough money. I'm trying to reduce the amount of thanks to God. When they're in trouble, they try to reduce the work of God and money for God. You know, our God is almighty. He is our Father who supplies everything in our life. Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. Ask and then it will be given to us. Jesus said that, ask and it will be given to you. You must ask whatever you want to receive. If you need money to come to the service, ask Him. He will give you a way. He will give you money and move your house close to the church if you want to come to the dawn service. He will perform whatever you want to get. He never gets any worries to give you. If you want to get money from Him, He will do His way to give you. He's our Father. If you ask a small thing or big thing, it doesn't matter for God. He has created all things for us. Do not worry about asking God. Just ask Him what you would like to obtain and wait Him. Just to see what He does for you. He'll definitely do it. When we move to our God, He will give you with abundance of your favors. With your eyes, please do not make our God is too small. When I came back from the mission, I read the story of Joseph. He is one of people who had a lot of troubles. From Genesis chapter 37, his brother threw into Egypt. Then he was in prison. After that, he experienced a year of bad harvest. He believed God, and he had a lot of tribulation in his life. When I read the story of him deeply, I got something in my mind. When I just think his story, I did not catch up why he had a lot of troubles. But when I read it deeply, I realized what God wants. He wanted Joseph to have nothing in his hand. He made him empty-handed. You sometimes ask God, why haven't you given me anything yet? You do not understand why so many troubles come into my life. God wants you to have nothing. It makes you have nothing in your hands. But people do not want to have empty-handed. They try to hold something in their life. If they have nothing, they are afraid of others' eye and ignorance. When you are poor, people do not think of you. They do not care what you do. So people do not want you to do nothing in their hands. This is what God wants. God wants you to hold nothing in your hands. Do not know why God makes like that? He wants you to rely on. He wants you to come and ask whatever you want to have. With empty-handed, you can hold something. This is the cross. With nothing, we can move to the cross and rely on God. Just hold the cross. Just rely on God. This is what God wants. From today's passage, North Israel and Aaron aligned then come to attack Judah. God made the king Ahaz had empty-handed. God wanted him to rely on, but he did not hold him. We sometimes act like King Ahaz. Any of you have a hard time now? With this trouble, you have no power and strength on you. You want to hold something. From today's passage, North Israel and Aaron aligned to them came to attack Judah. God made King Ahaz had empty-handed. God wanted to rely on. Any of you are hard time. Maybe with troubles, you have no power and strength on you. He wants you to have empty-handed. Before the sermon, we sang the song, Rock of Ages, craft for me. Especially, we focus on the third verse. Before the sermon, we sang hymn 494, Rock of Age, craft for me. Especially, focus on the third verse. Let's sing. Nothing in my hand I bring, simply to the cross I cling. Naked come to thee for dress, helpless look to thee for grace. Bow I to the fountain fly, worship me, Savior, or die. Nothing in my hand I bring, simply to the cross I cling. Neck to come to thee for dress, helpless look to thee for grace. Bow right to the fountain fly, worship me, Savior, I die. We need to empty-handed. It is grace with nothing. God sometimes gives you no answers. During the mission, for the last day, we stay at the Holy Himalayas Hotel in Kathmandu. There are many foreigners come to the hotel. There are many rooms in the hotel. Also, we cannot allow us to make a noise. As Christians, we need to provide dawn service in the morning. We needed to praise and pray loudly, but we are not allowed to do because it should be quiet for others. What we did, we just compassed the Apostle Creed, then delivered some of God's messages, then blessed the missionaries. During the service, when I look at the faces of the missionaries, they are least one-hearted. They really wanted to praise God, but they were not allowed to do. The missionaries really want to cry out and pray with their hearts, but they could not. After we were back, all missionaries joined the Saturday service. They all sat in front. Then we pray loudly and provide services with all their hearts. I was really impressed. Look at our nations around the world. There are a lot of nations where the native people cannot pray and do not know Jesus. Also, they are not able to praise loudly. They are not allowed to do. But most current Christians do not know why they do not praise and pray with their heart. We need to have the cold heart. With this heart, we try to rely on God. 1 Samuel chapter 28, the story is about King Saul. He sometimes prayed to God, but 1 Samuel chapter 29, verse 6, he inquired of the Lord, but the Lord did not answer him by dreams or Urim or prophets. God did not give him any answers. In this case, if he was Saul, we must pray more and more until he gives you the answer. But Saul did not. Finally, he came to a woman who is a medium in Endor. He was supposed to pray and find God, but he did not do it. He tried to find other things. We need to hold him until the end of his life. I'll give you an example. There is a couple. A man hasn't met his girlfriend for a few months. She was angry, so she decided to meet other boys. But do you think she's okay to meet other men? The answer is no. She cannot do that. She must wait for him until he comes back. He's really busy for a moment, but he will back to her. Like this case, God sometimes give you silence and then cold-hearted to make you strong face. When you have no answers this time, we need to wait for his answer. When I was in mission, the religion of the place is Hinduism. The population in Nepal is 310 millions, and there were 5 million small gods people believe. For example, when they believe one of gods, let's just call God A. There is no answer from God A, then they change it other God. It is called God B. If there is no answer from God B, they can change to new God. They do not believe their real God with their heart. They easily change their religion. When any God answers him or her, the person just changed to new God. There are more the number of small gods than people. If any God responds to him or her, the person just believes. Even animals like monkeys or rats. Our God is jealous God. We need to believe him only. He is the only one God to us. I want to trust him or hold him with your heart. We say that I look up to you. I can hold on you to live. This is our confession and this is faith. I came to you with empty-handed, and I want you to hold the cross with my heart and mind. I want our church revived. When you hold the faith, all Christians try to gather in one place together. I expect to say together and have a good relationship. When we hold the cross, our church will revive. Anyone has any troubles in your business? When you hold the cross, God will help you and guide you. You will have a great plans what you do. Your customers will come to see you. God makes you succeed in a good way. Christians must have empty-handed. Then we must hold God and rely on Him. All grace will be upon us. It will happen when you hold the cross. I want you to have a great faith and be faithful servants of God. The last approach is that it will change from invaluable ones to valuable ones. Isaiah chapter 7 verse 23, in the day, in every place where there was 1,000 vines worth 1,000 silver shekels, there will be only briars and sons. From this verse, when you think this is unimportant, but it may become the valuable ones. With faith, we'll change from invaluable ones to valuable ones. Have you heard the spiritual of steward? This means that all of my belongings is from God. 1 Colossians chapter 4 verse 7. For who makes you different from anyone else? What do you have that you did not receive? And if you did not receive anything, why do you boast as though you did not? This means that we have already received everything from God. With the things we have received, we have to use it for valuable purpose. This is for holiness. We ask God, please use me for your glory. Then He hears my praying. He accepts what I say. He uses me for His glory. We have a lot of money. We say that, please use my money for your glory. He will hear our praying, then He will use for His glory. You know, you have a spiritual gift from God. You ask Him, please use my spiritual gift you gave me for your glory. He will do it. Look at Moses. Numbers chapter 12, verse 3. Moses was a humble man, more humble than anyone else on the face of the earth. From this verse is described his personality. But Numbers chapter 13 is about Miriam and Aaron. What happened was that Moses got married with a Cushite woman. Then Miriam and Aaron complained what he did. Numbers chapter 12, verse 2. Miriam and Aaron asked Moses, has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hasn't He also spoken through us? And the Lord heard this. The fundamental reason they complain is that they try to define the power of Moses. Behind the main reason, they talked of marriage with the Cushite woman. From this situation, Moses was not angry. He was impatient. Although they talked about the position of Moses to let him down, he kept his mood silent and just listened to what they say. Also, he forgave what they did. He was a humble person. What is the meaning of the humble? This means that the leader must hold the cross for his responsibility. A leader should take more hard time to take care of followers, so he or she must keep the cross with the faith. Moreover, the leader must keep the faith until the end of the work or role. It is important for the person to keep the power and strength. The most important thing the leader must overcome is loneliness. Most leaders should keep the silence and show responsibility to lead the followers into the good way. What the leaders have to do, they must pray God a lot. God will give them comfort. This means that they rely on God only, not people. All leaders must spend time to pray. Do not ask others to get advices. God will give you the ways to serve and then overcome. He also gives you comfort. When you pray, you do not want to say other words to others. Try to keep silent and try to keep silent with God. When the leader talks too much things to make conversation, it might make misunderstanding or make a fight. Finally, it could break the fellow relationship in the group. Why does this happen? This is the leader's problem, not others. All leaders should keep quiet and only give you over to God. All leaders should be humble, which is one of good personalities. When the leaders are humble, it may control the group well. While he or she is a leader, it makes the person good life. It can be value of life. However, there is an opposite way. When the leader is not humble, he or she tries to stop leading the group. Do not listen to what the followers say or get misunderstood with others. As a result, it makes the relationship much worse. It is an invaluable life. Look at Moses. His life was different. He was a humble person. He showed great leadership to lead his people. With God's word, with complaint and attack, he did not endure any situation. He was impatient. We should be like him. His life became a valuable life for his glory. Christians should have a mind to die for the glory. We need to live for a valuable life, not like others. When we decide to overcome any troubles, and when we decide to become faithful Christians, we need to fight against the spiritual war in our life. We must overcome troubles. We must keep our faith until the end of life. We sometimes get disappointed what we do. There is no answers, no meaning in our life. But at last, we will get a victory. We will live for the glory and value of life because God is with us. He will do what we want. One of my favorite songs is the hymn 323, Call it, O God, we honor the call. I like the third part, honor, glory, power, and praise the Lord to you. You only are due, shame and scorn, and cross you carried. Grant us grace to carry them too. Only Lord receives the honor and glory. I will take the shame and unfairness, and also I'll take the cross. Let's pray with your heart. I would like to live for glory of God. My life will replace shame into dignity. With faith, make me stay with others. Lastly, I would like to use the value of things from useless ones in my life. Let's pray.